Klopp has now lost 6 successive finals. Credit AFP after Jurgen Klopp's charismatic call for one more game of big balls football, came the balls up. Liverpool lost this extraordinary Champions League final not because they were outplayed by a Real Madrid side who were making history with a third successive triumph, but for reasons to regret, for reasons that will be a maelstrom of frustration on a backdrop of cold hard reality after a remarkable and joyous campaign. Having arrived in Kiev showing the rest of Europe how far they had come, Liverpool left having been exposed as to how far they still need to go. All 3 goals conceded were ridiculous, of course. One because it was quite probably the best ever scored on such an occasion, but it was sandwiched between 2 that seemed to define the game as much as Mohamed Salah's gut-wrenching injury. There were 20 passes in the move which ended in Gareth Bale's brilliant overhead kick, but this final will forever, also, be unfortunately associated with goalkeeper Loris Karius and a worrying collective shock that Liverpool suffered at the loss of Salah. It will be associated with rivers of tears, but consider for a minute what it must have been like for the players to see Karius blunder in this way, and then also be punished by Bale with his unstoppable goal. Add to that the sickening injury to Salah, their talisman, through an act of professional cynicism from Sergio Ramos, who also shouldered Karius off the ball, and it was devastating. Klopp had pondered on the hand of fate in such fixtures, and post-match he spoke of Liverpool suffering from minus luck, such was the collection of setbacks. Real Madrid 3 Liverpool 1, story of the Champions League final. Klopp has not watched the rerun of the 2013 Champions League final when his then Borussia Dortmund lost to Bayern Munich. This felt even more painful, but the Liverpool manager needs to watch it again. It would be easy to catalogue the defeat as freakish both from Karius's behaviour and Bale's brilliance, and also coming up against Real, who can leave an £85 million record signing on the bench and then bring him on to deliver a 13th European Cup and a 4th in 5 seasons. First and foremost, Liverpool are emphatically moving in the right direction under Klopp, who has overachieved. But he has also now lost 6 successive finals and has to consider what that might say about his management and his approach. He went into everyone an underdog, he reached everyone in impressive circumstances, but he has not won any. So Klopp must examine himself, and will, and also the psychology of his players and their mental resilience. The loss of Salah after Ramos executed the football equivalent of a rugby spear tackle hurt them more than it should. Without Liverpool, who had been dominant, who had Real ragged, who were playing that big balls football, lost their momentum. They retreated in an alarming manner, and Real sensed it and ruthlessly responded. There was something else that was crucial and is needed for perspective. It did not help that Klopp had so little to hit back with from the bench, with a roster of substitutes that included 3 defenders, 2 of which are not good enough, a midfielder who is leaving having run down his contract in Emre Can, a young striker in Dominic Solanke, and the man turned to as the manager was forced to replace Salah. Adam Lallana was patently unfit. Lallana replaced Salah but was patently unfit. Credit Getty Images. It meant Liverpool's lack of depth was cruelly exposed, and although Naby Keita's arriving, with Can leaving, and Nabil Fekir being pursued to add creativity, there needs to be more, and Klopp needs to be ruthless to not only demand it but execute it. A goalkeeper is already on the list, but it has to be a first choice, not a replacement for understudy Simon Mignolet. And more money needs to be spent to help Klopp, who has worked with such a minimal net spend. It was Lallana who faltered as Isco was given the chance to open the scoring, only for him to lift his shot against the crossbar. Then Karius reacted quickly to collect the through ball, only to bowl his throw out against Karim Benzema's outstretched leg, with it rebounding and trickling over the goal line. The immediate response was impressive as Dejan Lovren headed goalwards from a corner for Sadio Mane, who later hit the base. I've the post with a low shot, to react quickly and volley home from close range. There was nothing Liverpool could do about Bale's wonder goal. Credit Getty Images. That volley was nothing to what Bale did just 123 seconds after replacing Isco, and the Welshman will have sensed Karius' shattered state of mind as he sent in a speculative 30-yard drive that was spilled into the net to end any resistance. After all the talk of Liverpool's defence, that unit of Trent Alexander-Arnold, Virgil van Dijk, Andrew Robertson and Lovren was their strength, even if it was Maine who was the standout performer. It was a desperate shame. As Klopp declared, Liverpool are back. But the manner of this defeat is a test. After 2007, 2016 and now 2018, the wait for another European trophy goes on. Liverpool appear closer, but how close?